Hi guys, Jamie here, and today, and backed by popular demand, I'm going to be giving you a guide to house prices in Wales over the last 12 months. Before I do that, please hit like and subscribe for more great content. So guys, the plan is that every quarter, as soon as this information comes in, I'm going to be giving you an update of what house prices are doing in Wales. I did an update way back in October and another one prior to that, but it wasn't very systematic, okay? So now I've got the bit between my teeth. Every quarter I'm going to be doing these updates. Today's update ends in December 2021, okay? And it's going to be a whole annual review. The reason for that is because where I get my information, the National House Price Index, or the House Price Index for Wales, from the government website, they have just input that data for December in February, if that makes sense. So this is as up to date as I can be. It's good news. You will be unsurprised to know. House prices grew and grew and grew and grew in the last 12 months. And if you're a serial investor in Wales, then you would have been very, very happy with the results you were getting. And if you were looking to remortgage and take money out of your properties, you could have taken significantly more of that out in December than if you'd have remortgaged in January. So let's go for the headline areas. Again, I'm going to be concentrating strictly on Southeast Wales. One, because that's where I'm from. Two, because that's where most of the investors outside of Wales like to invest. Starting with the biggest hitter of the lot is the Vale of Glamorgan. Many of you will know this from Gavin and Stacey, basically Barry. So if you've been invested in Barry, house prices from December 2020 to December 2021 in a 12-month period, yes, just a 12-month period, rose by 20.8%. 20.8%. That is insane. So if anybody's invested in Barry, I take my hat off to you. Other areas, let's start in alphabetical order. Blaen y Gwent, areas like Ebbw Vale, Bryn Mawr, Abertillery, that rose by 10.9%, still not too shabby. Bridgend, which is about as far west as I'm going to go with this, 17.8%, so just chasing Barry for the top spot, or chasing the Vale of Glamorgan for the top spot, that one. Caerphilly, an area that I recommend investing in, that rose as well by 10.9%, not too shabby at all. Cardiff, the capital, 12.8% growth there. Merthyr Tydfil, 15%. Congratulations, Merthyr, things are looking up. Monmouthshire, which is my area, one of the lower ones actually, was only 12.3%. I'm going to say only 12.3%. Get this right. Anything that's double digits in a year for house price growth is outstanding. So 12.3%, although it's not up there with the Vale of Glamorgan and Bridgend, is still very, very good. Monmouthshire, incidentally, also is the most expensive place in South Wales to buy property. So probably not one if you're looking to invest for income. But if you're looking to invest for capital growth long term, then it's always going to be a desirable area because of the transport links and just the nature of it. Newport is next, 13.3%. Newport is getting some really good traction, and since the Severn Bridge tolls closed, I think it was 2017, they were abolished. Newport has been a go-to place for investors. It's around about 20 minutes to Bristol, 10-15 minutes to Cardiff, the other direction. Really good central location. A lot of money's been invested in there as well over the last couple of years, so definitely you can't really go wrong with Newport. Rhondda and Taff, now this is the one that every investor in London wants to go to because they are the fabled 50 grand houses, 40 grand houses, 20 grand houses. That saw a growth of 9.7%, which isn't really surprising. And it's a little bit deeper and darker into Wales, if you like. A lot of the houses there are just terraced houses, as opposed to as many detached houses, which obviously would bring the house price growth up. A 9.7% growth for Rhondda and Taff, not too shabby, but the lowest one on the list. Next one, Torvine, 12.9%, again just ahead of Monmouthshire. Torvine I think is a bit of a sleeper area, as in when I speak to investors, not many people mention it, but it's very good. They've just built a new hospital called the Grange Hospital in Cwmbran, which is going to attract a lot of jobs. Don't sleep on Torvine because it's a good area. Looking at Wales as a whole, the Welsh house price growth as a whole was 13%. So 13% growth for Wales in 12 months. Not too shabby at all. It's no wonder that investors are tripping over themselves to get up the M4 and into South Wales. I've done a video previously on the places that I think are the best to invest, but I'm going to stick to my best areas are those just off the M4 corridor. You're looking at Newport, Barry, just on the end there, Pontypridd, which is in Rhondda and Taff actually, and Caerphilly just off. Cardiff, obviously it's a great place to invest, but house prices in Cardiff are getting considerably higher now. And actually, I think you get a better return on your money if you look elsewhere. In terms of property types, it won't surprise you to know that detached houses obviously grew the most, just over 15%. Semi-detached, 12.9% growth. Terraced houses, 11.9% growth. Flats, 8.5%. You know, everybody knows that flats won't grow as much, but still 8.5% is really good. And then as a whole, 13%. The average detached house price in Wales, £317,000. Now that is probably a surprise to a lot of you because, well, not if you're buying in Wales because you know it's gone through the roof. But years ago, Wales has always been sort of looked on wrongly as England's poor relation, but actually with average house price of a detached house, 317 grand, and even flats and maisonettes, the average house price for one of those is 131,000, just over. So again, we're creeping up there. I still think Wales, fantastic place to invest. Log these numbers, keep these numbers, and let's see how they compare for the next update, which will be here in a couple of months and will include the first part of 2022. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope everything's well. Please like and subscribe. Really appreciate your support.